back to the Huddle Report, the show where we break down all things NFL, college football with a focus on what really matters. Team dynamics, player performance, and who's rising or falling in each division. Today, we're diving deep into NFC, every team, every key player, and the burning questions heading into the season. From the Eagles' Super Bowl potential repeat to the Detroit Lions' rise as the new NFC standard. We're covering it all. So grab your headphones, settle in, and let's talk football.
Enough said.
I did listen to the whole podcast.
My God.
So if you don't know, Taylor Swift leaves little Easter eggs in years before she'll leave an Easter egg, which means like a sign to her new album. Now, can you guys guess which two quarterbacks she mentioned today? Now, mind you, she knows nothing about football, but she mentioned two random quarterbacks in the podcast with Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. What are those two quarterbacks?
Dak Prescott, Joe Milton, both Cowboys.
No.
Cam Ward.
Brian knows. So, okay. She mentioned Jared Goff and Josh Allen. NFC, AFC, is this an Easter egg for the Super Bowl? Let's go.
There is a conspiracy between the NFL and Taylor Swift to collaborate to predict the Super Bowl. No, it's not. It's just that's the only quarterback she knew.
Fun fact, that is my Super Bowl prediction, though.
Colt Gibbons.
Why would she not say Patrick Mahomes, who she's friends with, and Jalen Hurts? She was an Eagles fan. Okay, boys, let's talk about the real NFC East big dog. The Dallas Cowboys. Let's go.
This is hideous.
Okay, let's start with our first question. With the real champs of the NFC East.
100%.
Cole, why do you think that?
I think they have the best duo of wide receivers in the NFC East for sure. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. I think they're both far and beyond A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. They got Javonte Williams in the backfield now. If he can hold on to the ball, he'll be fine. And we just got a new offensive lineman from Alabama. And if you draft from the SEC, you tend to win. So I think Dallas has a great shot.
Gibbons, I'm coming to pray for you. There is no way on this planet that CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are better than Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown.
It's our year.
You've been saying that since 1994, my friend.
Okay, but in all seriousness, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, last year they got hurt. This year, if they stay healthy, they can be a dynamic duo, but we all know from last year they get hurt. Dallas Cowboys are no. First of all, they're not going to get past Detroit Lions, but if those two stay healthy, I think they have a chance. But Carson, what's your perspective on Micah Parsons?
I hate to say this as an Eagles fan, but Michael Parsons is a dog.
Okay.
He's a monster on the defensive line. He's coming off of a contract that he has not signed yet, and he has not participated in anything off-season wise because of the contract. So he's not getting any reps in right now. Then pajamas on the sideline of their practices. He's just watching and waiting for that $1 million deal that might never come. So I don't know what to say about Michael Parsons. Practice at least, just to show that he actually wants to be on the team. But I do understand paid because, money's green.
Yeah.
I have a picture of Micah Parsons in Eagles pajamas. Yep. No, Micah Parsons is an outstanding player. Of course, we're here on the Huddle Report, and we all have our favorite teams. We all have biases. Micah Parsons is an outstanding player and is an absolute dog on the field. But here's the overall, if you're looking for a big picture perspective for the Dallas Cowgirls, here is the big picture perspective, and that is rookie head coach. Their defense is soft. Dak Prescott is injury prone. He's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. Their offensive line is like toilet paper soft. I'm sorry. The Eagles will absolutely decimate their offensive line on the 2 games that they're going to play throughout the season. Friends, the Cowgirls are a 3rd, possibly last place team in the NFC East. You heard it here first. Brian Fields, boom.
Okay, do we think him not being able to solidify that big contract and to stay in Dallas, do we really see the cracks starting to form in the Dallas Cowboy arena where now we saw that as you go back to last season with Saquon Barkley, he could have had a huge payout with the record that he had. He chose to put the team first. Do we see that culture with Cowboys kind of slipping a little with the big names falling through and not performing just because they're not getting paid?
I could see it going both ways. I fall into the cracks. We don't have Micah Parsons this year. What are we going to do as a team? Or I could see is we might not have him this year. Let's prepare for that. I could see it going both ways there. At the end of the day, everybody likes money. Everybody likes to get paid. But to a certain extent, it needs to come to how I am as a person. How's my attitude affecting my team around me? Money's nice.
Okay, so let's shift gears. Let's talk about the quarterback. They're the key players in the offense. Do we think that this is finally the year Dak Prescott can deliver in January? Can he really go through that playoff?
Piggyback off of what Dad said. He's a good quarterback, just not great. He's tended to get hurt, but like I said, good quarterback, not great.
Right.
I think if he can stay healthy, I think in his time of playing in the NFC East, he's like 33-8 against NFC East teams. And so, I mean, obviously he knows how to win. He's been there, he's done it. But like you said, winning in January is different than winning in the regular season. But if he can stay healthy and work through the issues in the regular season, that way when the postseason gets there, he's not still trying to find a way and he's finally comfortable. If he can stay healthy, I think he'll be fine in January.
Yeah. I think Dak Prescott has built maturity. He has built chemistry with CeeDee Lamb, and I think that has some benefits for a strong offensive line between those two that can make plays, whether that makes it past playoffs into deeper playoffs, we'll see. But I think that chemistry between CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, they stay healthy. I think they're going to give the Commanders and the Eagles a run for their money. Just
That's
saying.
what I'm talking about.
Let's talk about them birds. About them birds.
Next
the culture,
I don't like this
culture of
Dallas
the
talk.
Philadelphia
Let's
Eagles,
switch it
the
up. Let's go to the birds.
organization of the Philadelphia Eagles is the platinum standard for all other NFL organizations. They have mastered the salary cap. They have mastered player contracts. They know how to work the rookie deals. So that's from a front office executive level, but the team culture, the team chemistry is also there. And so if the Eagles are the platinum standard of all NFL organizations, Dallas Cowgirls are the aluminum foil standard. They don't have a culture. They have a executive team led by Jerry Jones, who is not making good decisions, who does not write contracts well, that is beneficial for not only the player, but the team over the course of multiple years. The chemistry on the team is not great. This is not a winning organization. And I know that hurts a lot of people's feelings, but it's the hard, cold truth.
I think that the Dallas Cowboys have drafted some pretty key big players that could match up with players in the Eagles. If you look at CeeDee Lamb, who could he match up with in the Eagles?
Jon Mitchell will shut him down.
No, Micah Parsons.
Lane
Johnson
throws Micah Parsons around like a rag doll.
I think the Cowboys
wide
receiver has the best wide receiver in the NFC East, the best defensive player in the NFC East. And on a good day, Dak Prescott can do everything Jalen Hurts can do.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, Jalen Hurts is a great leader. Players were watching the Eagles in the Super Bowl last year.
Okay, so Carson and Brian, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the Los Angeles Rams are like the Philadelphia Eagles when it comes to a one-time Super Bowl over the past 4 years?
No.
Because you're sitting here talking about this great culture, that blah, 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 blah. But if you think about it, the LA Rams went to a Super Bowl and won. The Eagles went to a Super Bowl and won, but they both fell pretty quickly in the playoffs in either post-Super Bowl wins or prior to Super Bowl wins. I'd say it was kind of a one-off. LA Rams, Eagles, you can kind of compare the two. Just saying. Okay,
I'll go ahead and start.
Let's
Way
go.
too
Yeah, because
long
that's
for
about boring.
Way too long for the Cowboys.
It's not going to
So
get.
real teams talking now. So I can see the comparison with the Rams and the Eagles. Yes, when we won the Super Bowl, we did fall off the next year, but we were going through a quarterback change. Carson Wentz took us to the Super Bowl. Nick Foles finished it out.
Right.
But then we had to start over. New game plan now. Let's plan for the future. We won a bowl. Let's get back.
Yeah.
So next year was a down year, but now that we have the stepping stones in place now, we have Saquon Barkley. I can't name another running back in the past
Is Saquon
25
Barkley
years that's better than Saquon.
top 3 players in the entire NFL?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Behind CD and Micah. Yeah, you're right.
Blasphemy.
Okay, so we talked about the Eagles repeating. Can the Eagles repeat? No.
I'll keep it short and simple. Us.
100%. They're built for it.
Okay,
Lost Sweat, lost Darius Slay. Yes, there's other guys that can step up, but no chance.
Landon Dickerson was hurt in
Had
preseason.
surgery.
He did eat surgery, but like I talked about in the previous episodes, we have 2 linemen coming in. We got fresh legs.
Yeah.
Dickerson will be back week 1.
Yeah. I think the Eagles have some really core players that are returning. So, like Brian said, they solidified good contracts with good players. So they have Jalen Hurts coming back. They have A.J. Brown. They have a dominant defense front returning. So they have a lot of key elements that could potentially produce a good playoff run team. I will never say that they're going to be repeats, but again, I get a lot of hate for that.
Arrow.
So how do you think the Eagles have built their team culture, and what role does that culture play in their success on the field?
They do have Jalen Hurts. He's a fantastic player. That's probably his best trait is how much of a leader he is on the field, off the field, any situation. Jalen is who you want to follow in any way.
They've built their culture on confidence, on swagger, but yet on humility. They've built it on working together. They've built it on belief, and they have a winner's mindset and a winner's mentality. And you need that as a team.
Just selflessness. I think Megan talks about it every other episode. I mean, Saquon Barkley telling, he's going to break the all-time rushing record. And he said, no, let the young guys eat. Let Will Shipley get 50. Come on. Why not? So I just see selflessness. Jalen Hurts in the locker room, great guy to be around. I feel like he's a great guy to be around. And I feel like everybody in the locker room is just supportive. I got your back. You got my back. Let's roll with it.
Yeah.
Birds Nation. Birds Nation.
Accountability, toughness. Yes. Accountability, toughness. The Eagles do have all of that. They have resilience on the field. They have key players that show that they're willing to put the team first, not themselves first, which I do think is a key element when it comes to a team culture. Okay, that was short and sweet. Good job, boys. Let's move on to the New York Giants. Is Russell Wilson the key piece in New York? Yes or no?
No.
I don't think they'll win a game.
No. He'll score a touchdown, but he's not going to win a program.
Russell Wilson, admire, respect, really appreciate him. He's been a great quarterback through the years. Russell Wilson is on the tad end of his career. I actually think from what he has shown in the preseason that Jackson Dart has some potential and possibility. It's not going to be this year. It may not even be next year, but he has the markings of an NFL quarterback. And I think that well coached with a good offensive line, Cam Scatterbo in the backfield, you put some weapons around him, there's a possibility of potentially in a year or 2 winning 6 or 7 games.
Agree.
More than likely going to be a 4 or 5 win team this year.
Bill Carter better have a bunch of fumble recoveries for 6. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
He's very, very dominant.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be a while for the Giants.
The Giants are a 3rd place NFC East team.
Yeah. Or right in front of the Eagles. That'd be perfect.
Third place?
No,
Out of 4
four.
teams?
Very easy to determine the pecking order in this division. It's the
Yeah.
Eagles 1, it's the Commanders 2, the Giants 3, and the Cowgirls 4.
I love it. We're ready. Week 1.
So I did have one of our listeners asked if we are going to do a live segment, and they would like to listen to that. So boys, keep that in mind. Maybe we do have the option to go live.
I'm on TikTok.
Live on all platforms.
All platforms.
That specific comment was on TikTok, so
Okay.
I will say that.
Last week, the Huddle Report had just as many views as New Heights.
We're moving up.
That's right.
We're a little behind on that. Hey, we are gaining traction.
Huddle Report, New Heights with Taylor Swift. Huddle Report.
I'll take Jason.
We'll be Travis and Jason. We're good to go.
Okay, so who do we think are the key players to watch for with the Giants this season, and how might they impact the team's performance? So we know last year Saquon Barkley left the Giants, went to the Eagles. Do we know any key players that could really advance the Giants?
That's
Right.
it. That's the only guy I'm looking for.
Abdul Carter is a great defensive player. He'll be a stud.
Yep.
Jackson Dart has the potential and possibility to be a good NFL quarterback.
I think if you're sitting in the Giants Stadium week 1, the best thing you'll have to look at is probably the cheerleaders.
Okay. Moving on from the Giants.
I'm married.
The Washington Commanders. They destroyed the Lions in the playoffs, but then the Eagles destroyed them to make it to the Super Bowl. So will Washington keep the momentum with Jaden Daniels?
I think Jaden Daniels I'd almost put him in the great category. As of right now, I'd say he's really, really nice with it. I see almost a little Lamar in him. I'm not saying Lamar's obviously good, but
Yeah.
I'd put him in the Lamar category. He can run. He can throw the ball when he needs to. But I just think they just come up short every single year. Can't perform when it's cold out.
I think you'll have a little bit of a CJ Stroud year go into that sophomore slump.
Yeah.
Because it gives defensive coordinators a year to look at them, a year to see. Like I said about Bo Nix, so I think Jaden Daniels will go in that little slump. But, I mean, they'll be fine, a good third-place team for the East.
Yeah, totally agree.
Ryan?
I think Jaden Daniels is going to step back. A lot of quarterbacks experience that sophomore slump. Jalen Hurts did. So I think that's a real possibility. And I do see the Commanders taking a step back. Think about this. So they won numerous games by 3 points or less, last second drives. And there is an element of being in the right place at the right time, in the right positions, and winning. But you remember that last second Hail Mary? I mean, this team is a couple of seconds away from 3 or 4 more losses last year.
Agreed.
Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback. He is. They've got to get that Terry McLaurin situation settled. And
Yeah, scary.
they need him. They need
Terry bad.
him. So they've got to get that contract situation settled in and all of that. And maybe they end up trading him. But
They did get Deebo Samuel, so, I mean, that's a big help.
yeah,
Big
Deebo's
help.
good. As long as
Gamecock.
he's in shape. So they're taking a step back. Maybe a 10-win team. Second place.
So you think the Commanders are going to have a better record than the Cowboys?
Yes.
Cricket.
Yeah.
Let's leave that there.
Yeah, I agree. Jaden Daniels might take a step back, but I think his composure, his ability to make plays on the run, I think those are key components in the limited turnovers that he produced. I think those are key things that he already developed so early on that he's going to just build upon.
I like it.
But it could be a Joe Burrow situation where he's amazing, but they just can't get over that hump. Do we think they're going to build on that to be the dynasty that the Patriots were? Or, like you all said, he's going to have that slump?
If we're comparing Jaden Daniels to Tom Brady, no way in the world.
There's only one person you can compare to Tom Brady right now, and I'm not even going to say his name, so I'll leave him out of it. Patrick Mahomes, baby. What?
Did you even prepare for this episode?
Well, I'm ready. Let's go to the North, and we'll talk about the Lions for a while.
Okay, Green Bay Packers. We're headed to the NFC North. Will Jordan Love carry Green Bay Packers back to the top for year 5?
I think he's an average team, very average Packers team. Josh Jacobs, good, but other than that, average. Boo cheeseheads.
No,
I think the Packers are going to win this division, and this is how I see the NFC North falling out. I see the Packers winning the division. I see the Lions in second place, gaining a wild card spot. I see the Vikings and then the Bears. Unfortunately, I don't think the Bears are going to have a great season. I think the Packers are going to be the NFC North champs.
wow,
No.
no chance. The Lions walk away with it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd have to disagree. I'm going to say Lions. Caleb Williams, I think just the nail polish just wears off, man. Pack is indeed not back, and Jets can't win every football game.
Yeah. Like Carson was saying, Jordan Love, year 5, he's not doing bad. But like also Carson said, let's shift over to Caleb Williams with Chicago Bears. He has Ben Johnson now. I said this before, this is going to be that great. I think he has that California attitude, and nothing against people from California, but I think his nose is maybe a little in the air. I don't know. I just see that he did okay in college. I mean, he did fairly well, but I don't see him producing. I think he's going to get eaten alive by the NFC defense as a quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
So, do we think Caleb Williams should have played in the first preseason game? He sat out. He's pretty new.
I think you should have played. All you can do is improve on the offense. Look at it at game speed instead of your own players, you know?
You're right.
So that's what they're doing all summer long. So see somebody else coming in your face.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Him playing in a preseason game doesn't matter. It's not going to enhance his overall performance throughout the course of the regular season games.
Do think it matters. I think being able to be a new quarterback or second-year quarterback to be in an in-person game with an opposite defense attacking you does matter. So let's shift to the Minnesota Vikings. J.J. McCarthy has some big shoes to fill in Minnesota. I think him being able to practice and to play in the preseason will only benefit him.
I'll let Colt talk about this one.
Extremely overrated. Yes, he's a proven winner. Won a state championship in Florida in high school. Won a national championship at Michigan. But you can't. All he ever did was turn around and hand the ball off and say run and run and run.
Yeah.
And Aaron Jones or whoever, I think that's who their running back is at the Vikings. He's not going to win a Super Bowl. Yes, Jettas can. Yes, you don't have to be a good quarterback to throw him the ball. So, I mean, they'll be fine. There'll be a good second-place team in that division, I believe, but I don't see them taking the Lions spot. And J.J. McCarthy has to stay healthy. I think he's coming off a meniscus tear, and I don't even know who their backup is. So,
yeah, right.
Aaron Jones Sr. on my fantasy league. That's all I got. Come on, kid. Hold it down.
Come on, kid. Well, we all know who's going to win the NFC North. I believe the Detroit Lions are the new standard. I believe they've proven themselves time and time again. I'm pretty sure if we look at the past 2 years, yes, you've won a Super Bowl, but we've stayed consistent in our playoff situation. You guys didn't even make the playoffs 2 years ago. Anyway.
Isn't the metric and the standard the Super Bowl? Isn't that what every team is playing to attempt to achieve? And therefore, the Eagles achieved it, and they are the standard. We ain't talking about no new standard,
okay,
what
so
could be, what might be, what may happen. We're talking about what has happened.
So do you think the LA Rams are the standard?
Losing? Yes.
I think they won a Super Bowl. So you're saying any team that wins a Super Bowl, the next year they're the new standard?
They're the reigning champs. In order to be the man, you have to beat the man.
Let's talk about the Lions defense. Do we think that they are the top 3 unit right now when we're comparing the NFC? Top 3.
Just in the NFC, yes. But they lost their OC and their DC, if I'm not mistaken. Who knows? But I think Dan Campbell, heck of a leader, heck of a coach. So that's a guy I'd want to play for, honestly. If I had to pick a coach to play for, it would be him. So I think if you have players that want to play for you, then you'll be fine. Not to mention, I know this is skipping to the offensive side. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 2 running back in the league. He is one of my favorite players to watch. I have him in fantasy. But I love Jahmyr Gibbs. He is extremely fun to watch. And they also have David Montgomery back there running with him too. So I think that's probably the best running back duo in the league. they can stay healthy. That's the main thing. They
Right.
have to stay healthy, unlike last season. But if they can, I got Lions, Bills, Super Bowl, and I don't know who's winning yet, but that's my Super Bowl.
We have to look at last season. The offense absolutely destroyed teams with a decimated defense. Now we have an elite defense that's coming up into the season. You have Aiden Hutchinson. You have an elite defense. Those two combined, I think they're going to be hard to beat.
I'd say on the defensive side of the ball, y'all are solid. Love the two running backs. Love Sonic and Knuckles back there. I love it. That's all I got to say. They're just going to come up short.
St. Brown
Come
or
on.
golf.
Just going to come up short.
No,
We'll see you in the NFC Championship.
The Lions have an elite offense. The Lions are now a second-place team in this division.
Hey, I think we did very well when we were the underdogs 2 seasons ago. I'm fine with that. I'm fine putting us back in an underdog situation and us to just bite the ankles off of you guys and move on.
Like a chihuahua?
Kneecaps. Yeah.
I mean,
no.
just
If
a
you're
bunch of
from
little ankle
Michigan,
biters?
if you're from Michigan, I think the South might do this, but our new slogan is called hunting season. I love that for the Lions. I love us being the people that are going to attack. I just love it. Hunting season. Here we go. Let's go. Okay, moving on. North.
Hashtag hunting second place.
You gave me a lot of talking to 2 years ago when the Eagles did very well and then they absolutely crashed. And I told you, see? Anyways, NFC South. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield. Can they make the playoffs again? If not, what do we think will happen to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I think the Buccaneers are the team that can make the playoffs. They're going to make it there. They just don't have the push yet. These teams are just coming up short. They just don't have the oomph to go the long way. Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, one of the best quarterback duos in the NFL. I'd put them definitely top 5. Great back there. They just come up short every year. Just can't get the push. And I don't think this year's any different. Bucky Irving back there, they just don't get across. Hassan Reddick, correct. They do have Hassan Reddick now.
I think they play in the weakest division in football. So,
yeah.
It's 6 free wins pretty much if you just stay consistent. I think they win the South, obviously. But I do have the Panthers moving up, coming in second in the division. I hate Michael Penix in Atlanta, so I don't like the Falcons. But back to the Bucs, I think they'll be just fine.
I see the Buccaneers winning this division. I see the Falcons coming in second, Panthers in third, and then the Saints in fourth. Baker Mayfield is I like him a lot. And the Buccaneers always play the Eagles very hard. They do. So I think this is a playoff team. How far in the playoffs? I don't know. It depends on seeding, and it depends on who they're playing and if it's a home game or not. But Baker Mayfield is a good, solid quarterback that will help to carry a team.
Yeah, I definitely think they'll come away with a win for the NFC South. But, so, like Colt said, Michael Penix Jr., who will be the new quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, kind of pushing out Kirk Cousins. How do we feel about that? Do we think that he is going to be the missing piece for the Atlanta Falcons, or will they move on quickly?
They better move on quick. I have more things good to say about the Eagles than I do about the Falcons.
Let's go. Go Birds.
Bijan Robinson, if Michael Penix can stay on his feet and turn around and hand him the ball 85 times a game, he might win a few. But other than that, nothing good to say.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what the Falcons do have going for them. Raheem Morris is a stand-up, superb coach. He's a class act. He knows how to coach those men. He knows how to build a culture inside that locker room. So I have much respect for Raheem Morris as a head coach. They are in Atlanta. So I like their head coach. They're a second-place team.
Okay, moving on. Carolina Panthers. They've had their struggles for many, many years. Do we think that the Carolina Panthers will address their past challenges? And what are the key factors if they can get past those challenges to move on to potentially a winning record, if not close to that?
Yeah, I think they will take major steps forward. Tedororo McMillan from Arizona, number 8 pick in the draft. Animal, big, tall, physical, athletic. Then they got Trevor Etienne from Georgia. Bryce Young is finally filling the shoes And I think the defense is going to struggle, but I also think that they can score a good bit of points and compete. Like I said, it's the NFC South. All they got to do is beat the Saints and Falcons. I think the Bucs will sweep them, but you get 4 free wins with the Saints and Falcons, in my opinion.
For the offensive side of the ball, I think they have one of the deepest wide receiver rooms. They have Xavier Legette, Hunter Renfrow, McMillan. Great guys. Great guys.
Adam Thielen, everybody.
Adam Thielen, yes. Great wide receivers. I think they have one of the deepest wide receiver rooms. So I don't think they're going to lack in that aspect. In the backfield, Chuba, come on. I mean, he's average running back. But Trevor Etienne coming in, having a little duo back there, don't hate it. But I see them second place.
Yeah, I think we have to look at Bryce Young. If the Panthers can create a strong offense to protect the quarterback, Bryce Young has key players to throw it to. But you can't get there if the defense is just coming through the offensive line, destroying Bryce Young and getting those sacks. So I think for the Carolina Panthers to move forward, they have to be able to protect the quarterback, for the quarterback to be able to throw to those key players down the field to get points. So yeah, I think that'll be their success, protecting the quarterback with the offensive line. Okay, so let's talk about maybe a not so hot team, the New Orleans Saints. Who do we think will be the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints?
If they want to lose, or if they want to win 0 games, it will be anybody except Spencer Rattler. If they want to win about 4, then it will be Spencer Rattler. So, I mean, I'd win a few. I think he's the best one in their room. Other than that, nothing good to say about the Saints. They're in New Orleans. I guess that's a plus.
Yeah.
But they got Brandon Cooks from the Cowboys. He's not a CD, A.J. Brown, Puka. He's not any of those guys.
I'd say best bet, Spencer Rattler's been spinning the rock to Raheed Shaheed. Come on, kid. He's going to bounce back. Raheed Shaheed, let's go.
I don't know how the fantasy works, but Carson, are you picking players on the bad teams because you got into the fantasy too late, or how does that work?
Bad players?
I'm not saying bad players, but bad teams.
I got Raheed Shaheed in the 10th round. I thought it was a steal. Come on.
Okay.
We were talking about the NFC South.
Let's wake up our listeners and talk about the NFC West. The 49ers. We had one of the worst picks in the draft, who ended up being Brock Purdy, who led them to the Super Bowl. Turned out to be great. Can Brock Purdy bring the 49ers back to the Super Bowl?
Being Mr. Irrelevant has its wins and has losses. You get a parade for you. You get a little fiesta. Being the last player in the draft, you get a little something.
Yeah.
But being Mr. Irrelevant and coming out and going to a Super Bowl, it's impressive in my book.
Yeah.
I'd say the 49ers, Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, solid. Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs still to this day. I still see him back there.
100%, Carson. Let me tell you, it's very little to do with Brock Purdy and a whole lot to do with Christian McCaffrey. And so Christian McCaffrey is healthy. Christian McCaffrey is running grown men over. San Francisco will have a pretty decent.
And I think they have the best linebacker in the league, honestly. Fred Warner. Yeah, they did lose 5 starters on the defensive side, but Fred Warner is different. That's all I got.
Yay!
I'm gonna throw something out here, and this is gonna stun the world.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
I'm going Seahawks with the division win. Mark it down, write it down. It's solid.
I got them 3rd in mine. I'll be honest with you.
Lynn Milroe.
Hey, I love it.
Sam Darnold.
Roll Tide, baby. Woo! But anyways, they get Cooper Kupp. It's a eye for an eye. Both great route runners. DK is obviously
bigger, stronger.
He's a monster. And you got Cooper Kupp, who's a little smaller, but better route running wise. I feel like Jalen Milroe will get the spotlight for a little bit, but I don't think they go much.
Brian, you think the Seahawks are going to beat out the 49ers, the Cardinals, and the Rams?
Yes. I think Seahawks win the division. Rams come in second. Very tight between Rams and 49ers.
I do have to say something on the Seahawks subject. Kenneth Walker, the 3rd. Michigan State alum.
He is a dog.
Thumbs down.
Not
Red
only
buzzer.
was he Michigan State, that's what I'm talking about. Deion Coleman. Ooh, for the Bills. He's from Michigan State. I mean, these are key players. Let's talk
players.
about the Seahawks.
These are bench players.
These are
No.
I do think the Seahawks have the defensive rookie of the year, Nick Eamon-White from South Carolina.
yes, sir.
It's a bunch of homers.
Let's go.
Okay, so Sam Darnold is now over at the Seahawks. Did very well with the Vikings. Do we think he can do that great with the Seahawks?
Is he throwing
No.
a Justin Jefferson there? That's the only
No,
thing.
he's not.
He won a Super Bowl.
Sam Darnold will probably start the season off week 2, week 3. Put the boy in. Jalen Milroe. Let
Yes,
him
sir.
see what he can do.
I think the red rocket just runs out of fuel. It just comes to a time where it's time to ease back on the kid. No,
Yeah,
he runs out of gas.
they'll move on very quickly. Arizona Cardinals. Do we think Kyler Murray will stay healthy enough to be able to take the Cardinals anywhere this year?
I think he's too little to stay healthy, honestly. I think he's just so small. But won a Heisman. He's been there. He's won. I don't know. Marvin Harrison, he's throwing to him. Trey McBride, top 3 tight end in the league. I think if he can stay healthy, yeah. I think he's too small to stay healthy.
I'll go defensive side of the ball. One big guy they got, Josh Sweat, coming off the Eagles, coming off of a bowl.
Yeah.
Great pickup by them, but no, I just don't see anything happening with the Cardinals. But I just don't see any much getting done with them.
Yeah.
The Eagles
I
let
agree.
him go.
I agree.
They did get Will Johnson from Michigan. I think he won like cornerback of the year
Yeah.
or whatever it is in college. So he'll be good first round pick, but rookies, you never know.
Okay, so let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams. I know I've brought them up a few times this podcast. They had Matthew Stafford from Detroit a while back. If Stafford can stay healthy enough, will he make another run through the playoffs?
I think they win the division. So, yeah, I think they win the division, not by much, but they do. They got Devontae Adams, which is, you lose Cooper Kupp, you replace him with Devontae, you're fine. And they got a lot of O-line to keep Matthew Stafford healthy. So he's got Kyron Williams. He's got Blake Corum, both of those guys in the backfield. Throw one to Devontae, throw one to Puka Nacua. Defense has to step up, but since the O-line there has gotten better to help Matthew Stafford stay healthy, I think he's all right.
Rams as a kind of the Bengals situation. You can score 100 points, but if your defense lets 101 points go, you're not winning a football game. Offensive side is good. Defense needs work. They'll make the playoffs. They'll win a division, but they don't go nowhere from there.
Okay, so who do we think is going to be the NFC MVP pick? I think Jared Goff is going to get it.
I'll go Baker Mayfield.
Quad.
No. Okay.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay, who do we think is the hardest, or what division is the hardest in the NFC?
The East. The East, by far.
Yeah. I think now that we've seen what Jaden Daniels can do, the Cowboys are here. We're ready. So I think it's a 3-team division. Obviously, the Giants, maybe they surprise some people, but it's a 3-team division. It's still going to be tough. I think the North could compete. I think they had 2 teams, the Vikings and the Lions last year, both won 14 games. So that could be, but I think the East is going to be the most competitive.
I agree. North's trailing behind, just not.
It's a good assessment.
So you said
East.
the Cowboys are going to fall. You said that the Giants suck. You said the Commanders will have that sophomore slump. So that's 3 teams out of 4.
You have to remember, you have to beat the world champs.
That's right.
You're not coming into Philadelphia. You're nervous.
Exactly.
You're going to go to the bathroom at least 3 times before warm up.
Ford Field, that was the whole punchline last year. Everyone was afraid to come into Ford Field. NFC North had the best record. Okay.
Go boys.
Last question
Go
before
Birds,
we
baby.
wrap it up. Last question. Who do we think is going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl this year?
I say another NFC matchup again. Lions, Birds, take it away. Let's go. Back to back, baby. Let's.
Okay.
I got the Lions beating the Cowboys in the NFC Championship.
I agree
Let's
with
go.
half of that, Brian.
The Lions win.
Eagles beating the Packers in the NFC Championship for another Eagle victory.
Pack is back.
Pack is back. I'm telling you, boys, Packers
is
are
back.
going to be good.
I think it's going to be a repeat of the Lions and Commanders, and I think the Lions are going to destroy the
repeat?
Commanders. up to
divisional
the NFC.
round.
Whatever.
Wild card.
I think the Lions are going to make it to the Super Bowl this year. Okay, boys, that wraps up our deep dive into the NFC this season. We've talked about the teams to watch, the players who could make or break the year, and all the matchups that are going to keep us on the edge of our seats this season. Thanks for tuning in to the Huddle Report. I'll see you next time for more football insights, breakdowns, and all the excitement.
Baby.
Thank you so much for joining us. No.